Lisbon Productions, an Hollywood filmmaker. Well, I am here to throw more light on this much discussed issue of your leadership and Judy Austin. I had already decided that I had to let the cat out of the bag so that people will know exactly what happened. Because from every indication, people had just conceived the wrong story. What people were condemning them for wasn't even actually what happened. It wasn't even in any way near to what happened that led to that second marriage and the rest. So I am here to throw more light on it, to say it the way it happened, and what led to it. First of all, I have to start with our industry, the way our industry is. This issue of Yul Edochie and Judy Austin. Few of my colleagues, or if I can say many of them, know about this matter. This is their issue, the real story. But everybody's afraid to come out to talk because in one way or the other, he is a friend to many of them, you understand? And even when you want to talk or when you want to say it, how it happened, you see many of his colleagues attacking you. They know the way they attack producers and directors. So, but I've taken that bold step so that I'll guide people. Because it's certain that when you are giving judgment and you give judgment on a wrong story, definitely it must have been a wrong judgment. Before you give a right judgment to something, you must have conceived a good story. The real story, how it happened. So let me start with Judy Austin. From what I know, had been an Enugu-based artist, for such a long time. She had been there in this industry, for such a long time, and had not actually made her way to the top since she had been there. Probably because she's a very uninteresting artist. I don't see her as a good artist in terms of acting wise. She had been there, and I've seen a couple of her movies. She didn't perform wonderfully well. In fact, she didn't perform well at all. I know even the one she performed a little, probably the director must have guided her to do the little she did at that time. But generally, she had not been. Because there's one thing about good actresses. Once you're good, you'll be recommended from one production house to another. You understand? So she had been there. It's just that she sees the opportunity, having met with Yul Edochie, grabbed the opportunity, feasted on Yul Edochie's popularity, to make her own popularity. You understand? It's just that, what do I say? To rate Yul Edochie fall prey to this girl. He's the kind of person that I've met with so many beautiful girls, much more prettier than Judy Austin. But the question is, why would it be Judy Austin that he would jeopardize the peace of his marriage for? So I will tell you exactly how it is, what led to it. Just listen carefully and make sure you don't miss out any of the wordings. Don't miss out anything I'm saying. I'm going to say here now. If actually you want to get first class stories about many of these celebrities, it's a simple thing to do, and just be nice to your crew members. As a filmmaker you are, just be nice to your crew members. Be nice to all these upcoming artists. They are somehow relatively close to all these celebrities. Because take for an instance, a makeup artist who is also part of the crew. So when they are making all these people up, they're always there when they are making their secret calls. You understand? Take their secret calls and then they're always there. So from there, they know some things. And at some point, these people still discuss some of their private issues with all these crew members. Once you are being nice or being or probably not high-handed to all these crew members, trust me, you get all these first-class information about all these artists. So I think that's how all these things come back. Everybody, or let me say a few people, know about this. You understand? So what happened was that you all met Judy Austin. How they came across each other, that's what I don't know. But they came across each other. They met with each other, and Before you knew what happened, they fell in love. So it was quite like, or to y'all, it was quite like maybe one of all those things, one of all those probably relationships, you understand? So, but until Judy Austin came up with an idea, a business idea, you understand? And such a business idea, y'all thought maybe they could break the record with. And the business proposal was that they will start their separate productions, doing their own separate productions, whereby Judy Austin will be funding. And Yul Edochie will be directing and then making sure he recoups the money and all that, which to me was at least a big, it was a big venture, if not that the thing took a different turn. So when the thing, according to how they planned it, they executed as planned. And not until Yul Edochie couldn't account for all this money that was left in his custody. Because Judy Austin was the one funding those different, because that time they were shooting different films, you understand, to their credit. Shooting many films. They have many films to their credit. They shot severally, back to back, serially. And Yul Edochie was the one directing. So, and that was the point I had. Yul Edochie had turned the director, even when I knew him as an artist. So I still digested that and kept my ears to the ground before the whole thing turned sour. Yul Edochie mismanaged the fund. That was just the pure truth. When I'm talking about fund, I mean a whole lot of millions of naira, a heavy amount of money. And in addition to that, I see later heard that he borrowed another heavy amount from Judy Austin, which he couldn't pay back. And that was at the point he started doing Judy Austin's bidding, because there wasn't even any avenue. He wasn't even coming forth with any other avenue to pay back those money. And then Judy Austin, being the owner of the cash, you understand, I can't just allow Yul Edochie to just go like that, you understand. So they had small tussle over the payment of those money. But at the end of the day, Judy Austin came up with an offer that Yul Edochie should marry her, which Yul Edochie consented to, but it shouldn't be immediate, according to how they planned it. It shouldn't be immediate, you understand. But they agreed that this girl, Judy Austin, will conceive for Yul Edochie. Before you knew it, Judy Austin became pregnant. Before you knew it, she gave birth to that baby boy. And part of the agreement was that Yul Edochie will announce the baby to the world as his biological son, which was the last straw that broke the camel's back. So, and this whole thing turned the table around, whereby this guy, Yul Edochie, was doing the biddings of this girl. So that was just a simple truth. So every other things started coming out of, this story. All the activities they embarked on, was just emanated from this story, actually. You understand? So that was why when people are throwing jabs at them, even on social media, both of them will keep dancing, because people never knew the real story. You understand? So until you know this story, you won't see them dancing again. You understand? They create fun, they dance, they make merry, over a story people conceive to be a wrong story. So that was the truth. You understand? It's not today we've been seeing things like this, or maybe probably a young girl run into a married man. You understand? And to such an extent that they got married. It didn't start today, and it will definitely not end today. We've been seeing those things. You understand? It's just that these people's own, to me, they went to the extreme. You understand? They took their own story or their own matter took a different turn from what people expected, and at the same time, it's quite a disgusting thing they did there, and to the shame of the industry. You understand? Because I've not seen a celebrity that did so many disgusting things like Yul Edochie. So that's the reason I said I must come out to say things, the real things. I've been keeping it to myself, It's not something I should have just like that, you understand? I open up and start talking. But at some point, I came to that conclusion to open up. That was exactly what happened. And if people can remember vividly, there was a time such a thing happened in the case of John Dumelo of Ghana. You understand? Several years ago, whereby a certain girl commenting on social media. At that time, social media had not gotten to where it is today. You understand? So the said girl was lamenting, shouting, that people should tell John Dumelo to refund all her money. So at that time, it was even the story that got to the public space. Even people at that time never knew there was even another side of that story which happened to be the real one, the real story. So they conceived the wrong one, that this guy ate a girl's money, a certain girl's money. You understand? When I'm talking money, we are talking about thousands of dollars. Because the girl, from what I heard, was based in US. So, but from the inner side and from the real side, I got the real information of what happened and what transpired at that time. It happened that the said girl tried to monopolize was this girl these guys tried to monopolize John Dumelo. You understand? At that time you see both of them, flags. They're all over, they are everywhere. So in their own case at that time, theirs took a different turn. Immediately John Dumelo came across another girl, a new girl. And this girl felt cheated, even when she knew that they were not married to each other. So, but just because of those cash she was spending on John Dumelo, she thought that maybe those cash could have at that time chained this guy to herself. You understand? She wanted to monopolize and keep John Dumelo to herself to such an extent that she was monitoring every of his moves, wherever he is, you understand, you want to make call and know exactly who are there with him. So to such an extent, and even if he's any other person, you understand, the person would have reacted. But that was the story. It's a similar thing that even made me, it was this case of Yul Edochie's and Judy Austin's issue. This is the issue that made me remember that one. That one reigned at that time, but that's just the thing, anytime you see all these male celebrities, more especially the cute ones amongst them, you see all these big girls, flocking around them, throwing cash on them and then trying to make them happy and all that. So it's the pure truth. But that of this guy took a different turn. So, like I was saying, when Yul Edochie couldn't pay back the money, and he also never wanted Judy to drag him on social media. And that was at the point he started doing her biddings, obeying whatever command Judy Austin was dishing out at that time. So at that time, even I also heard that the close friends to Yul Edochie mounted pressure on him not to go as far as he did at that time. But he kept, doing what he was doing. He was so adamant and never wanted somebody to talk him out of it. You understand? Never knowing there was a real issue underneath. So both of them have been keeping this secret from people, for the public space, you understand? Not until I decided to let the cat out of the bag. You understand? So that was exactly what happened. Though
my people na the year to so. Hey, nothing where Musa no go see forget. Thank you all for watching. Bye guys.